Hey guys, Veebat here with another V-Plays, and we are back in another Tier 6 Light Fighter. This is going to be the... Where's my advanced settings? Oh, anyways. There's something I was missing. I lost something. Show introduction scene. That's how I get my thumbnails, darn it. Anyways, so we've been doing all these Tier 6 Light Fighters, so I decided I might as well throw this one into the mix. Yeah, you're absolutely right, buddy. I will be F2ing that for you. You get those people over there and go capture that. But you know what? I'm in a Japanese Zero. You know what Japanese Zeros are good for? Airfields. I actually recorded a battle prior to this. It was the exact same map, but it was the one where they had a mill base, garrison, and it just... This aircraft really does not have the ability to get around the battlefield very quickly. It more or less prefers to stay in one sector and just be in area denial. It'll come in here, it'll flip an airfield, and it'll just hold that airfield. And if anybody wants to come down to low altitude, they're going to have to contend with a very nasty aircraft with some pretty serious firepower. These 20s are actually more powerful than the 20s on the Spit at the same tier. They do 94 damage a second each. Yeah, like I said, we just grabbed this zone pretty quick. Luckily, we had a friend on our side here as well. We had a couple of friends, actually. Where's that light fighter? Yeah, Spit. Nice. So now, they really can't come in here. This is my zone. But what I am limited on is going to be altitude performance. I'm going to have trouble getting up to this guy, and I don't have any hit points. So, like, that guy, I had to immediately dodge him. I mean, people talk about how the Zeros can outturn them all day, and you're absolutely right, they can. But don't put yourself in a situation where you're turning with a Zero if you're not in a turning aircraft. Like, if I'm in a multi-roll, I'm going to wait for this aircraft to be in a disadvantage, like at a disadvantage, and I'm just going to boom and zoom him. And he won't be able to do anything about it. I'm more concerned about him. Biggest threat. I want this guy to come down into the soup with me. He's killing all my aircraft. Here, I got some of it back. Like I said, he's the priority. I can outturn him. He definitely has better guns with that 37, able to just knock my plane out of the sky in a single hit. But we got him. Sweet. Okay. Multi-rolls. I need these guys all day. Ah, they got us. Well, at least I got some work to do. One of the problems you run into with this aircraft is the enemy just stops going to the center because you're going to be there and be a real pain. They just avoid you. Oh, they're on me now. Too many planes engaging me at one time. There's the P-39Q on me. Just lost my engine, and this is what I was talking about. Low hit points and boom and zoom. We had a P-51A taking advantage of our aircraft's lack of maneuverability and just went straight for us. And look at all that red I was up against. I really should have been holding back further into the airfield to maximize my survivability and maximize the amount of targets I could be fighting against. Or minimize the amount of targets I'd be fighting against. That way I could be, you know, with my other blue aircraft that are making their way in there now. So fortunately, they're all making their way to that sector as we speak. Which one is that? That's going to be the priority. Come on. Been having issues with getting the designating target to really come into play. Come on, Yak, just point that gun at him for a half a second. That would be great. Got him, okay. Just gotta look out for that guy, he's just too dangerous. Luckily, it's all defense aircraft in here with the exception of this one GA. What I find with this aircraft, or most turn fighters, is not locking into a target like I'm doing right here. It's actually to find multiple targets to engage in kind of hit and runs. Oh, I see you coming. But I want the zone. Yeah, there it is. Now I should be able to outturn him. Just got to survive that initial pass. And you'll see that I'm kind of doing like a boost turn here. I'm actually slamming on the brakes to get the tightest turn. Yeah, it's going to take me the same amount of time to do the turn, but my circle is smaller if you were to overlap our turns. And it'll allow me to be able to get my guns on target a little bit better. There we go. What do you even say? You seem mad, bro. No, not mad. Oh, not what I wanted. Alright, what do we got? Oh, I tagged him, but apparently not quick enough. I mean, I don't know why I'd even be mad at him. I don't think he was one that actually killed me. It was the Mustang got me. XP44 actually has some pretty decent DPM. We want to keep away from those 50 kills. We are tissue paper and we will start on fire if somebody even talks to us with harsh words. Well, we did get him. Airspeed management is important. There is a Hurricane over here. Hurricane Mark II has 4 Hispanos. Not going to be fun to engage that. SE-100, really bad forward guns, like really bad for me, and really nasty tail guns. So we can kill them quick. We're in luck. Like I said, we're great for area denial, but we really haven't done anything outside of this sector. Yeah, I mean, I'm killing him, but he's not in the zone. It's not really helping us a whole lot. P-51's up there. It's Squall Line. I don't want to go up there. But I don't know. Now I'm kind of in his arena for altitude combat, so if I don't kill him quick, I could easily be countered here. Okay, we got a little anxious by holding down the trigger there. What do we got here? Is that the human controlled? No, it's not. It's just a Focke-Wulf. Okay. Just a Focke-Wulf. 420s is no joke. All the defense aircraft just spawned. Spread that damage out a little bit, I guess. Oh. There it is. Okay. We're in it to win it now, because we got all these defense fighters on us. Like I said, we're slowing ourselves down. We're tapping the boost to get the nose around. Just that little bit. Got the zone, just picked up the ace. Oh, he got us. They're gonna get the win, but man, what a good fight. What a... If I can type. Whoo! What a great game. Those are some great fights, guys. Top Gun, but a loss, and I think this is... That's fair, because I think the point I was trying to make about this aircraft, and I think a point I'm trying to make in general, is you can have a great game individually, and your team might still lose. Now, the thing about turn fighters is they tend to play a little bit more greedy. Not because they're actually greedy or greedy players, but the aircraft, just by nature of how it works, it really isn't good at going from zone to zone. It's an area denial. So I was able to get the airfield, and I think we can all fairly assess that even though we lost the airfield a couple times, I was able to get it back. I was doing my best to hold it. Thank you. You too. And it was just a fun, it was a fun engagement for us, obviously, but we weren't able to contribute to the other garrisons. There was almost nothing we could do at the mines except if there was a GA nearby to go shoot at, but really, it just lacks the versatility, and that kind of stinks. And that's one of the reasons I've never been a huge fan of turn fighters, just because the altitude limitation means that I was struggling to do anything to the P-51A. Yeah, I could get up there and I could throw my guns at him, and I did a little bit, but I don't want to do that a lot. I mean, you saw what happened after I got that P-39Q and I was in those turn fights. I was at a bad energy state, and one guy took a good look at me and gunned me down. When I see an A6, if I see A6 whenever I lock up an aircraft, I'm like, oh, easy kill. I just got to get my guns on him. And this thing just does not have any survivability. I usually don't pinpoint survivability as like a big thing. But survivability is huge on this aircraft. I mean, look at the resistance to fire. It's 30. That's why I immediately put firefighter on these Japanese aircraft. They're just absolutely made out of tissue paper. It dies fairly quick. And as a heavy fighter loves chewing these things up. I mean, when I see this aircraft and I'm in anything that has 20mm cannons, it's just going to disappear. With that said, I think there's a place for it. It just probably works better if you were working with somebody. Like if you had somebody that was flying in an altitude fighter or a multi-role or anything else that can go and affect a mine, can go and affect a military facility, because those are going to be heavy defense fighters, probably up at altitude. What am I going to do in this? So it limits where I can go. So if you're paired up with somebody that can go somewhere else, then you're probably going to be able to affect that win rate a little bit more, because again, I've seen a lot of players that play turn fighters have stellar battles, but end up having losses because they're really depending a lot on everybody else, because they only end up in one zone typically, maybe two. And that's just by virtue of the low airspeed and the low altitude as well, just limiting where you can go with it. Again, I don't think it's a bad plane. I think it's a solid aircraft. It's just its roles are limited. Historical, or something I discovered the other day because it was bugging me when I upgraded this aircraft, that there's two holes right here, but there's no guns in the engine cowling. And it took me a minute to realize it, but it's actually hidden. The answer is hidden in your upgrade tree. The 7.7 millimeter machine guns that used to be mounted synchronized with the propeller, you lose those when you upgrade, and then you can unlock the engine. My guess is that for manufacturing purposes, why remake the whole engine cowling right here when these are all very similar aircraft, so you can just keep reusing the same engine cowling, but the engine probably took up the space where the 7.7s would be, like some of the internal mechanisms. So then you have to put the machine guns in the wings, and by virtue of the wings being bigger, you can upgrade the machine guns to 13.2s. Now, I don't know if that's historically the reasoning why all this looks the way that it does, but I do think that it's a nice little detail that they didn't change the engine cowling, because why would you do that in a wartime footing when you're in maximum production? Like, why change or retool the entire design floor when potentially you could still be running out the M2s or the M3s that are on here? Yeah, the M2s. So, you know, fair logic there. With that said, I do think the A6M5 gets a lot more versatility than the M2. The M2's altitude limitation is absolutely abysmal at 2600. 3200 is, well, 3300 is workable. And then the A7M getting 3600 and 10,000 ceiling with a really good climb rate and 420s. Really allows it to be able to bring the fight to the enemy. So I think this is about the point where I felt the zero lines started to become more viable for being able to kind of go out and try other things. I was just a little bit limited on this map, and there was probably some points where I could have left the airfield, but I was having too much fun. Again, tends to be more of a greedy play style anyways. But yeah, this is it, guys. The zeros. Someone was asking for it, so here it is. And I was lucky enough to be recording when I had an ace, so there's another one. Mark it in the book. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.